Welcome to all pool owners who want to avoid chemical disasters and protect their family, their investment, and their personal health. We are going to explore the dangerous chemical combinations that can turn your relaxing oasis into an aquatic nightmare. These mistakes can damage the pool you have invested so much effort and money into. They can also create potentially dangerous situations for you and your family. Stay with us until the end to discover how to avoid these common traps and maintain perfect water safely. Pool chemistry is a delicate balance between several elements that influence each other. An imbalance can quickly cause a cascade of problems that are difficult to fix without completely draining your pool. Let's start by exploring the bad combinations in water balance that create the most problematic situations. The first combination to avoid is a high pH associated with high calcium hardness. This combination turns your crystal clear water into cloudy water, with lime deposits forming a layer of scale on all surfaces. In extreme cases, you might even see sharp crystallized calcium nodules that can scratch the skin and snag swimsuits. Another disastrous combination is a high pH with a low chlorine level. Algae love these conditions and proliferate at an impressive speed, quickly turning your clear water into greenish soup. To receive our expert advice on pool maintenance regularly, subscribe now to our channel and activate the bell so you don't miss any of our videos. The duo of low pH and low total alkalinity is particularly aggressive for your installation. This acidic water quickly corrodes steel, copper, rubber, vinyl, and even the coatings of your pool. It can also irritate the mucous membranes and eyes of swimmers, making swimming unpleasant or even painful. The situation becomes even more complicated with a low pH combined with high total alkalinity. In this case, the buffering effect of the alkalinity makes it extremely difficult to adjust the pH to correct the situation. To solve this problem, you must first lower the alkalinity by releasing carbon dioxide gases from the water, for example by pointing the return jets toward the surface. Chlorine and stabilizer levels also form critical pairs that must be monitored carefully. A low chlorine level combined with a low stabilizer level inevitably leads to cloudy water, then milky water, and eventually green water. Without sufficient protection from cyanuric acid, the sun naturally destroys chlorine before it can complete its disinfecting job. The free chlorine level should always be between 1 and 3 mg per liter. The ideal stabilizer level should be between 20 and 30 mg per liter. On the other hand, a high chlorine level with an excessive stabilizer creates an equally problematic situation. Cyanuric acid accumulates over the years because, unlike chlorine, it does not evaporate. Beyond a concentration of 100 mg per liter, it completely inhibits the action of chlorine, even if you add large quantities. Chloramines represent another danger often overlooked in pool maintenance. These residues from chlorine disinfection do not disinfect but cause red eyes and a characteristic unpleasant smell. When their level exceeds 0.3 mg per liter, a shock treatment becomes necessary to eliminate this bad chlorine. Water with too low calcium hardness becomes corrosive and gradually strips coatings, paints, or tile joints from your pool. It can also harm the effectiveness of chemicals and the overall water balance. High phosphate concentrations provide an ideal food source for algae. Brought in by swimmers in the pool environment, they must be eliminated with a phosphate remover as soon as their level exceeds 300 parts per billion. Now let's move on to the dangerous interactions between chemical products that can have serious consequences. The golden rule is never to let chemical products come into direct contact with each other, even outside of the water. Chlorine mixed with other substances can emit toxic gases, ignite, or even explode. The combination of shock chlorine with an algaecide is particularly problematic. The shock treatment destroys the polymer chains of the algaecide, rendering it completely ineffective. If you need to treat algae, first use shock chlorine, then wait until its level returns to normal before adding the algaecide. And only add it if your shock treatment has not been enough to recover your green or contaminated water. The same principle applies to enzymes and sequestrants. Shock chlorine breaks down these products if added simultaneously, wasting your money and reducing their effectiveness. Water loaded with metallic particles treated with shock chlorine can cause these metals to react and form embedded stains on pool surfaces. The most dangerous combination remains shock chlorine with trichlor tablets in the same skimmer. Never pour calcium hypochlorite directly into a skimmer that already contains trichlor tablets, because the chemical reaction could cause a fire or an explosion. Mixing chlorine with muriatic acid or hydrochloric acid generates a potentially deadly toxic gas. Never add acid to the pool when the chlorine level is high. and never shock the pool immediately after adding acid. To use your chemicals safely, follow these practical tips. Always run the pump when adding chemicals to ensure proper circulation in the pool. Wear protective equipment like goggles and gloves when handling chemicals. Never add 2 chemical products at the same time, and respect the recommended waiting times between each treatment. To dilute a product, always add the product to the water, never the other way around, to avoid dangerous reactions. Store your chemicals in a cool, dry, well-ventilated, and secure place, out of reach of children and pets. Now that you know which chemical combinations to avoid and which precautions to take, you can maintain your pool in perfect condition without risking your health or your equipment. If you found this video useful, please leave a thumbs up to support us. Share it with your pool owner friends to help them avoid costly and potentially dangerous mistakes. Leave us a comment if you have already encountered one of these problems or if you have any questions about chemical pool maintenance. Thank you for watching this video about dangerous chemical combinations in pools, and see you very soon for more expert advice.